What is the best tower defense game? When it comes down to answering this question, there's really only two contenders, All-Star Tower Defense and Anime Adventures. In order to compare these two games, I'll be discussing how both games compare in multiple categories, such as the visuals and animations, the progression, the methods of obtaining units and currency, the quality of life features, how pay-to-win the games are, the quality of updates and how often the game updates, and the endgame content. So without further ado, let's get into it. For the visual effects, let's start with All-Star Tower Defense. The effects for All-Star Tower Defense are pretty basic to say the least. All-Star Tower Defense is a much older game than Anime Adventures, to be fair, so the game would need some more refinement and probably needs a complete rework of the graphics, similar to what Bloxfruit did to be up to date with the standards of graphics in game today. The UI is not bad, but is also pretty basic. The unit animations are good, but not anything too crazy. The maps also look good, but they aren't very detailed. And for Anime Adventures, there's honestly no reason for me to spend too much time on this. As you can see in the footage, the graphics are leagues beyond All-Star Tower Defense in every single way. The animations are cleaner, the boss designs are better, the maps are bigger and more detailed, the attack effects are better. The only complaint I personally have is that the UI looks like it was ripped straight off of Anime Fighter Simulator, which makes it seem like they put minimal effort into the UI. Now for the progression. All-Star Tower Defense is quick, enjoyable, but can get boring, and not too grindy. You can also do extreme mode, which gives a lot more EXP and makes getting levels quicker than it already is. And there's also 2 times EXP weekends on top of that. The banner rates are also good so new players can get new units and be able to solo story with little effort, not needing to rely on the strongest units, along with 3 worlds of content. So in terms of progression, I personally have no complaints. Anime Adventures progression is long and grindy. The banner rates are considerably worse than All-Star Tower Defense, with mythicals being a 0.25% chance compared to All-Star Tower Defense's usual 1 to 2% chance, with the rares being a 0.5% chance. But there is a special banner which offers 3 featured mythicals with a double chance to get a mythical, which increases the chance to a 0.5%, along with a chance to get an unfeatured mythical, which could be any mythical in the game. But here's the problem. The standard banner has a pity, but the featured, although having a higher chance of getting a mythical, has no pity. And for some reason, the standard banner can only have old, outdated, low damage mythicals. So the only way to get a new meta mythical is to spin on the special banner with no pity and only a 0.5% chance to even get a mythical. And there's still a chance you get an old, outdated, bad mythical. There's also an evolving mechanic for mythical units. Most unevolved units are pretty mid, with the old, outdated mythicals just being straight up terrible. So for newer players, you're basically required to get lucky and pull a good mythical, or to stop being the loser you are, go outside, touch some grass, and go make some damn friends, and hopefully they can carry you on this grindy ass game. Another complaint I have is for some reason, every damn level you do is only 50 EXP. The first and easiest story level in the game, 50 EXP. The last and hardest story level in the game, 50 EXP. Infinite mode, which takes up to 6 times longer than story mode and is harder, 50 EXP for every infinite map, no matter how hard it is. And that's not even getting into how shitty, long, and boring it is to evolve units. In order to evolve any One Piece unit, for example, you have to complete the Puppet Island story, then do the Puppet Island Infinite, which you can barely solo to get puppet portals. And then the Infinite gives about 2 to 4 puppet portals if you get to wave 50. For every portal you host, you get at most 4 smile fruits. You need about 40 smile fruits to evolve one unit. But what if you don't want to do the Infinite or can't find a team to do it with? Then you can join someone else's portal. But the problem with that is you can only get at most 2 smile fruits, and the majority of the time you only get 1 smile fruit for 1 portal, which takes around 7 to 8 minutes to complete 1 portal, which means you need to do 40 portals to evolve 1 unit, which takes about 4 to 5 hours. And that's not even including the time it takes to get 7,500 kills with that 1 unit before you can evolve them, which is usually about 2 to 3 rounds of Infinite, each round taking about 40 minutes at least. Alright, look, I know it seems like I hate this game, and I know having an opinion is one of the greatest sins a person can commit nowadays, but I don't hate this game. I actually enjoy playing the game. I'm just stating my opinion on what I personally don't like about the game and what I think should be changed. I mean, come on now. I have 70 hours on this game, and I'm only level 50. Just buff the EXP gain a little bit, or make it scale with level difficulty is all I'm really asking. In All-Star Tower Defense, there's a couple ways to obtain units. The first method being by summoning. If you play the game, this is pretty self-explanatory, and both games have this, so I won't really get into it for obvious reasons. But I will briefly mention that there is a special banner where you can get feature units with a 1% chance and evolve them to a 6 or 7 star unit. Other ways to obtain units are from Battle Pass, Gauntlet mode, and you also get a unit for completing Tower mode. As for the gems, the only real way to get a lot of gems is to farm damage tasks, which can give you a lot of gems from just a quick infinite based on your damage obviously. You can also obtain and gold, which is only obtained by doing story mode level. For anime adventures, there's multiple ways to obtain units other than summoning. There's raids you can do to obtain units with a 1% chance, but you can get the unit guaranteed after 15 raids, which takes about 3 hours. There's also a summer event where you open summer stars with a 0.25% chance of getting a mythic, leaderboard where you can obtain special shiny units for reaching the top of the leaderboard at the end of each season, and there's an infinity castle, which is basically tower mode, where you get a unit for reaching room 100. For the currency, there's multiple ways to obtain gems. For every wave you complete in infinite, you get gems. The higher the wave you get to, the more gems you get, capping out at 497 gems. Also, in Infinity Castle, you get 150 gems per room completed. You can also sell units you don't want for yen. For quality of life features, both games have an auto usability feature, a search bar in the inventory to find units easier, and a quick loadout selection where you can save loadouts or teams for different modes in the game. Now for features that aren't in both games, first we have 2x speed in All-Star Tower Defense. This is probably the best feature added to All-Star Tower Defense. This feature is so useful and makes guarding the game so much faster. It makes an infinite go from taking an hour or more to just 20 to 30 minutes. When summoning, there's also a button to open all, which makes summoning 10 times faster. When searching for units in your inventory, there's a very diverse filter feature where you can filter by most recently obtained, the level of units, and the rarity. You can also filter by specific elements, rarities, and categories. There's also a filter to see only tradables, units that can be evolved, featured units, units you have locked, and by blessings or cosmetics. For anime adventures, the features include being able to spectate your unit that you have placed down. This provides a better view of your unit and also helps people who want to record videos in the game by enabling them to get the best possible view and angles to showcase a unit. While not as diverse, the inventory filter is still pretty good. It lets you filter by primary and secondary damage and also lets you filter by attributes like hybrid, whether the unit can buff or not, heal, ground, summon, and farm units that give money. In Infinity Castle, you can turn on hard mode, which when completed, skips a room and gives double the gems you can get from one room, give you 300 gems, which reduces the amount of rooms you need to do by half. All-Star Tower Defense isn't very pay to win. The option to pay to win is there, but the game doesn't make it feel like you have to pay to win to get good units or progress in the game. And you can only pay to win in the battle pass to skip the tiers, and even then you can just grind the damn battle pass. The battle pass can also be obtained for free in game. It has a chance of being banner, and all you have to do is summon for it, and get as many as you want and save them for future battle passes, so you never need to buy the battle pass with Robux. 3x speed is 800 Robux, but it's not pay to win and more like pay for convenience. Anime Adventure is the complete opposite in terms of pay to win. I mean, just look at this shit. The progression is so slow, and getting a meta team is literally impossible for newer players because evolving the new units is locked behind legend stages, which you need to beat higher levels of story to get access to. Premium Battle Pass is only obtainable through Robux, and you basically have to buy it because the regular Battle Pass rewards are complete garbage and barely give anything. You can literally pay to have increased luck when spinning on banner, but you can use luck potions which are obtainable for free. You can also pay for trait rerolls and spin until you get a good trait, which you might as well do since you barely obtain trait rerolls while being free to play. You can also just buy a giftable battle pass and trade it, which you can easily abuse if you have the money, which is what I did to obtain some of my units, and I only traded 2 of them. All-Star Tower Defense doesn't really have an update schedule, usually due to them having to delay the majority of their updates. But usually when a game updates, there's a decent amount of new content, or at least in the early days of the game being released, all the updates were unique and always added something new. But now it's more of the same, most likely due to there being not a lot more to add than a usual new unit, new raid, etc. Anime Adventures usually releases high quality updates bi-weekly to monthly, with the updates consisting of new units, new events, new story, and a new battle pass, and sometimes a raid or something. Yeah, not much to talk about here. Most of the updates are not too different from one another. Now last but not least, the endgame content. In All-Star Tower Defense, there's a lot of stuff you can do like Tower Mode, Adventure Mode where you can do raids and get items needed to evolve certain units. There's Boss Rush where you place these little question mark things and it has a chance to spawn any unit in the game. It's RNG based but it's unique and fun. There's Battle Mode where you can do PvP. There's a material farm. It's like Infinite where you gain materials that you can use to craft orbs at the orb crafting area. And there's Gauntlet Mode. In Anime Adventure, once you get a good enough team, you can do raids, Infinity Castle, do summer portals, and farm portals or legend stages for unit evolution. So basically just a lot more grinding. So now that I've covered all of these categories about each game, it's time to answer the question, what is the best tower defense game? Honestly, I believe it comes down to preference. If you prefer a long, slow grind that's more of a challenge, or if you just like spending money on gambling and trait rewards, then Anime Adventures is the game for you. But if you like a quick, easy, fun grind that's not too challenging at first, and don't like pay to win, then All-Star Tower Defense is for you. Wait! Don't click off yet. Since you made it to the end of the video, you clearly enjoy my content or at least were entertained. So why not subscribe? It's a win-win for both of us. I bring you fire videos and you help me grow my channel. I think that's a pretty good deal.